hooked on picking here. I hope you can hear me. I'm standing outside of a Goodwill outlet, and I wanted to show you what we found. Now, this whole cart was completely full when we first went through. Basically, we just go through all the bins and we fill our cart, and then we stop right before we check out and we try to find some things that we can actually flip. So that's when we do all of our scanning. We don't scan during the process. So we found a bunch of books. So we look for anything that has kind of informational topics. Fiction books generally are not worth a lot. So this one talks about paper money. Here's one that basically is kind of about Indians or Native Americans. And then we've got American architecture. So as you can see, most of these are basically, now here is one that just kind of jumped out at me when I scanned it, and it's worth something. So when I do books, I primarily, this is a nurse's guide, primarily stick to 1 to 2 million sales rank. So I will take a higher sales rank on books, especially at the Goodwill outlet, because each one of these books that you see cost me 15 cents an inch. This whole cart of things cost me just barely over $14. And so these are basically all kind of books that we found. Some of them that don't have barcodes, you can look up with the ISBN number. But most of them, this is about glass making, have a barcode, so you can just scan it. Just giving you a bit of an overview. This is a cookbook. Cookbooks are always really good, unless it's a super common one like the South Beach Diet. That one generally is not very common. This one's just a fun book. That kind of grabbed her. So this one is a whole like reading set with kids. So it's still completely in its packaging. Found a little Bible. This one jumped out at me because it's a really, really huge, gigantic book. And it's got gorgeous scenery pictures. And so I picked it up just because it was different. Now, some of the other things besides books that we got is we've got a Chia pet. Remember those? I found these actually in another Goodwill, but they were not worth it because the Goodwill was charging about $6. But because it's at the outlet, I paid about 50 cents for it. So definitely still can make money on it. A funky old phone. This I'm probably going to try to flip on eBay. It has all the information on the back, and even used, it's going to go for about 35 bucks. So, very vintagey looking phone. It's a lot easier to do things on eBay. A remote control, and all the information about remote controls are either on the front or inside the battery cover. Just open the battery cover, make sure you don't have corrosion. Here's another Kodak item. It's still in the box. It's a color cartridge for printing pictures. This is a vintage Mark McGuire. I'm going to try to eBay this one. It is on Amazon with no sales rank, but I think it'll do better on eBay. Another thing we got is a Black & Decker. These are like, you can seal your items inside of it. And so, yeah, the box is in a little bit rough condition, but I can just put some packing tape on there. And I did open it up, and it is all brand new, never been used. So that's one thing you have to make sure you check. Some boxes have absolutely nothing inside of it at a Goodwill outlet. Just a tchotchke little Barbie toy. It's actually worth something because I only have to pay 50 cents an item here. Here's another item I'll probably put. It's a vintage old camera. I'll probably put on eBay. And the reason why I'm going back to doing some eBay things is it's a lot easier to list on eBay nowadays than it used to be. This is actually a heated drink base. Place the water pan here. So basically it's a heater, like a stovetop that you could just take anywhere. So probably for camping and things like that. So I'll have to test that, make sure it works. You always run the risk. This is like a little lace thing for sewing. This one, Nerf guns are not allowed to be sold on Amazon, but you can sell them on eBay. And so just this little piece right here is selling for $11. But if I can make sure that the whole toy gun works, then it'll go for even more. And then also another eBay vintage old photos. I don't know if you can see it, but this is a super, super old photo. He's got some sort of a coyote or cat that they've caught. So I'm going to try to sell that as well on eBay. So anyway, that's our haul. $14 for all that stuff. I plan on probably tripling my money because there's a lot of money in it at the Goodwill outlet. And just have fun, happy hunting in your Goodwill outlet near you. And remember, in the end, Jesus wins. Thanks.